Welcome to Eternal Family Adoptions, where members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints share stories and secrets of building forever families through faith-centered adoptions. I'm Donna Pope. Join us as we discuss how our faith can guide our adoption journey and create family connections. So we spent some time together, and then Chris needed to go home. She needed to go home. She could only be there for a short time. She had obligations, and so she left. And then now you had Leilani. I don't know if now's the time. and how has it been since then?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. It's been amazing.
Okay. To be able to love her and love her mom is very special to us. They're both a part of our life, you know. Like your heart expands. We have those holes in our heart with the loss of our children that we buried, and they will never be replaced, obviously. And that heart stays expanded, right? And it expanded even more. And they both her and her mom have filled our heart with something beautiful, the joy, and to watch the kids, you know, play with her and laugh with her and be with her when they miss their siblings so much has been very tender. And to be able to, I was okay if I talk about this, visit with her biological mother's family this last month was very sweet. It's like our kids were playing with our kids at a park. Our teens were talking to her teens. It was like God had just taken our two families and just blended them together. And a really beautiful. Sorry. And they feel a part of us too. It's really joyous, honestly. It's really beautiful.
I don't know if I can say it any better than what she said. Like, when I think you think of families as puzzle pieces, and I think one of the things that has been phenomenally amazing is how the puzzle pieces have fit in, just how they feel like they've always been there. Leilani is our daughter. She is part of our family, and she completes that moment, that a part of our family that was missing. Like, she comes in, she brings her own unique personality and attitude, sass, an aspect of sass that our family needs, and and her siblings love her, they play with her, and she laughs and we laugh, and again, it felt that exact same way when, you know, we went through it. It took some time to make the arrangement and get everything settled, let the adoption become legal before we could get out and make everything happen with Leilani's birth model, with visiting and everything. And I think there was some anxiety with that because we didn't know how it was going to work. And I think she didn't know how it was going to work. I think there was concern and question on both sides. And, you know, in both situations, Em talks about having given her a hug when she first showed up, and she gave me a hug at the same time. It was, again, it was powerful how it all fit together. And I'm sure there'll be bumps. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not without its moment, but it's family, and that's what family should be, down and all together.
So let's go back and talk just briefly about one of those potential bumps. And that was that even once you now had Leilani placed with you, there had been over the last 8 months some question about who the birth father was. There was some question about whether or not the birth father was okay with this adoption. And he had gone back and forth. There was, and I won't go into any details, but there had been some questions all around that issue. how did you guys handle the unknown of what if someone comes in and contests this adoption and we lose this little girl?
I mean, it's okay. I'll share how I felt. I had to put my brain in the place it was when I was pregnant with my stillborn babies. Because after we lost our first son and then our daughter, it started to show, okay, there's potential here, but we wanted it so much we were willing to take the risk, right? And you have to put your brain in that place of like, okay, this third pregnancy is risky. It's risky. We don't have answers. The doctor says it's fine, but obviously we don't have a clean path. That means there's not going to be death. And with Jace, our last stillborn son, everything was going perfect. Everything was going fine. No bumps in the road. They were like, this is great. Nothing's wrong. So, but I also, with him, had in my heart, God, I don't know where this is going still. And I just, once again, need to trust you. And he didn't make it, right? He passed away. And I had a friend, sweet friend, share with me, she'd lost her daughter that had only lived a couple days. And she shared with me that scripture in Psalm 139, where it talks about we're fearfully and wonderfully made, and how each of our days God had planned out just as he we are formed in the womb, and he knows us personally and knew each of our days. And I had to put that in my heart that like, okay, my children, there was nothing I could have done or couldn't have done to prevent their deaths of stillbirths, right? There's nothing. Now, I wrestled with that. Let's put that there. That was a wrestle. And took some therapy, all the things. But as I read that scripture with her, I was able to realize, okay, God's got this in his hands. Whatever happens is his plan. And as hard as it is and dark as it can get, I can trust his plan. So I had to apply that. While this is different, I had to trust this plan. God got me through the deaths of my babies. If this doesn't go through with this little girl and something comes through and there's contesting, I can trust God because he got me through that. He can get me through this. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but he gets us through. So I had to put my brain in that place because I had some, it's not the same, but some experience in that to just be like, I can't control this. This is out of my control, but God's in control. And so whatever happens is going to be okay because he's in control. And once you see the big picture, no matter how many years or days or even in the next life that it takes, we'll see it and be like, oh, okay, I get it. I got it. It's okay. So not easy, but he's got us all in his hands. So.
Brett?
I think for me, it was also, I knew myself. And so I took the opportunity to learn as much as I could about the process as quickly as can. And Donna was kind enough to answer all of my questions on multiple phone calls. So I knew myself, and so I took that opportunity to learn. I learned about the possibilities, what was going on, what was possible. And Donna was very honest and said, look, and I remember having this conversation, well, what do you think the chances are? We go back and forth. And it was because I knew that I just needed the data. And then I was able to follow my wife's example of trusting in God. And so I think for me that how I handled that period of time is I asked the questions. I wanted to know. I mean, I was trustful, and I knew that whatever happened, she was going to be part of our family for the period of time that she was supposed to. And if something had happened, it would have been hard, but we would have understood. And so that helped me. And then it did come down to that. Be still, know that I am God, trust. Lean in.
Okay. I won't say a lot, but I have one question before I make a comment. I love the point that Brett made where he talked about leaning into God. before I say this, I want to know, what does that mean to you to lean into God? What does that look like to lean into God?
For me, it's understanding his presence in every aspect of our life, whether in the forefront or in the background. I think that as members, as human beings in general, we tend to wish for and look for God to be at the forefront of our lives. We pray and we get an answer. It is right there. It's easy to see. And it's easy for us now to look back and see that. But through this whole process, I mean, hindsight's 2020. We can look back and see all of these things happening, but none of us knew that at that time. So leaning into God is understanding that there are times when he won't be in the foreground. He won't be right in front of you answering your prayers as you pray in the way that you want, knowing it. And instead you have to trust the fact that he's still there, that he's walking with you, that he's aware of you, and lean into him. So that's for me.
Okay, I love that answer. I'd like to add one thing to that answer. And I think if I look at your story and I try to put a consistent theme across your story, I think you guys lean into God through your perseverance. I think you guys are really good about keeping going. There's a couple of quotes that come to mind. Steve Jobs said, "I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from non-successful the unsuccessful ones is pure perseverance, just keeping going." Thomas Edison said, "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." Winston Churchill says, "If you're going through hell, keep going," right? There's this power in just keep going, right? You guys went through 12 IUI treatments that Emily was talking about, right? You kept going. You didn't get to 5 or 6 or 11 and quit, right? You kept going. That family that went through so many trials with the birth mother and finally gave up and quit, like you stepped in and you finished it, right? And you got the adoption. You got on the airplane immediately and you made it happen. You didn't even everything that you went through, you just kept going. And as I've just listened here and I've thought about what does that mean to lean into God? I think leaning into God is having faith in him. And I think a huge piece of that you guys have shown through your journey, the way that you've leaned into him, is your perseverance. You've kept going. You haven't quit. You've shown your faith through your actions of not quitting and immediately doing everything that he put into your heart. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I hope whatever families out there that are walking through this can understand is like that walk is not going to be easy. So going through that perseverance of just, like you said, leaning into God and trusting that in the valley, right? The dark, hard part, he's still got you. Keep walking. Keep going. Keep walking, keep going, keep trusting, keep believing. And he's always making a way. He's always working in the waiting. Always.
Yeah. Winston Churchill, during World War II, probably the worst war that our world has ever seen to this point, is famous for saying, never, never, never give up.
So I would add, the family that left, don't give up on them either, because that family, it was probably about 5 or 6 months later, they were matched with a situation that's turned out just beautifully for them.
Yeah, I think
that's something we want to add right there.
Yeah, I think that was what I was going to add as well. Keeping on going forward doesn't necessarily mean going forward in the same direction over and over and over. If you look at our story, right, we had to be prepared to pivot as it felt right, and in conjunction with prayer and leaning into God as well. And in all honesty, we assumed that family was doing that as well, that they were leaning into God in their way and were pivoting according to now. It worked out like we were willing to pivot.
And maybe that wasn't the right situation for them, and that was God's way of getting you to the right situation and them to the right situation.
Our daughter with us where she was supposed to be, and God placed their child with them. So all in the end, as hard as it was, and all of our valleys and all our intertwining, like each ended up with the child that was meant to be, and the families that interconnected that the way they were meant to be.
And the experiences all fed in. I mentioned initially in our adoption process, we hosted a Colombian child. Now there was immense pressure, even on ourselves. We had prayed, and we felt that this was the right thing to do, to host this child in our home. And we thought that we were going to adopt her. We were planning on adopting her. We had fleshed it out. We had everything set aside. And after 6 weeks, it was very clear that it was not right. And I am sure to certain people, it seemed like we gave up, like in particular the people in the program, because we had to tell them, no, it's not right. And it may have looked to them like we gave up. It just wasn't the right fit. It wasn't perfect. It got hard. But it became very clear that wasn't the right choice for us. And even after that, Em and I would have conversations of like, why would God put us in a place? Why would he inspire us to host this girl and have it not work out? Have it so clearly not be right for our family?
And we loved her.
And we loved her, and she's sweet, but it just wasn't right. And even now we look back into it, and that process put us in touch with the caseworker who ended up doing our home studies and being with us. And she's now become what I would consider a fast friend. She's been with us through this whole process and been in our home, and now we've got in. So again, the idea of perseverance is, and again, that goes right into the leaning into God. Perseverance is not necessarily going forward no matter what, the same direction. It's evaluating and then praying and then moving forward with the inspiration and God helping you at each time.
So now I want to go into a different topic. We hopefully, as we're doing this little podcast, we'll have shown some pictures of you and your family, and we want your kids to come out in a few minutes.
Oh, why I go there dressing?
But I want to go into the whole issue of interracial adoption. You are a Caucasian family. Leilani is Black. How has that been for you guys? What have you learned from this process?
I'll go ahead. Do you want to go first? Okay. That it is so important to be open to learning every day. And the hair is so important. It is so important. Like the quote that's in my kid's school that's on the wall: speak first to understand, then to be understood. I will never understand exactly, Chris, what it's like to be Black because I'm not Black. But I want to learn everything I can of how to embrace the beauty of everything about that culture and her heritage and her everything, her hair and everything. And so it's been good to communicate with Chris and ask her questions. Okay, what do I need to do with her? Or she's breaking out in a little rash here. What do I need to do with her skin? Okay, help me with her hair. And when we just visited last month, a lot of our time was she was teaching me a lot about her hair, the products, being willing to experiment with products and say, this works, this doesn't work. Okay, what do you think? You know what it is to have this beautiful coil, curly hair. Teach me. And we just want to embrace. The more we embrace that culture, and we're very open to being taught and not stubborn about, well, I think it should go this way, saying, no, please teach me. That has been really good for us because I need to learn. I don't know. I'm still learning every single day, and I will continue to learn. And as Leilani becomes more aware of, it's important I talk to her about, and just involve Chris in helping us know all the things, what to embrace, and once again, the hair.
I think we mentioned the hair, I think, just because
reason it's beautiful here, and so the silk caps and stuff. He says that asking all the questions and learning, be open to learning.
I think we're learning even now those differences, the things that she will have to deal with in life are going to be very different than what our other children have had to deal with, and we have to admit that. Like we can't go in with any type of assumptions that just because she is now our daughter in our family, we know exactly the best way to raise her. That we and I know, and we found that people are, at least the people in our community, have been so gracious, kind, and helpful in helping us, especially when we are like, look, we love our daughter, we love her to death, like we love her, but we don't know everything, so teach us, so help us. And I imagine that will become even more important as she grows up, when the issues and the concerns and the differences go beyond just how to style her hair and go into cultural differences, societal differences, how she deals with, I mean, we're going to have to be aware of it when it comes to religion, faith, when she, just everything, and being open to the idea that it is going to be different. At least softens our hearts and gives us the ability to accept the advice, because we're going to need it.
Yeah. Why did you decide to adopt interracially?
So in all honesty, we didn't specify interracial adoption. Our original adoption papers designated an age, which for us kind of put it in the range that would fit into our, we had learned, a younger child was more of what we were looking, but I think we said 3 and under. And then we were open to any race. We were completely open to interracial, and we talked to people about we have some friends who, again, we talked to as many people as we could, just it's the lawyer coming out and gathered information, just trying to figure out what's going to happen. And so we were just open to anything, and interracial is what ended up happening for us. So we didn't target it. We were open to it, and basically just wanting whatever was right to happen.
And the more,
say that again, Emily.
The more I get to know Chris and embrace this culture, because as we've lived here, we've embraced the culture around us. We live in a diverse area, and so my friends who are Black, I reach out to them, help me understand this here, come help me know what to celebrate. Juneteenth, we're going to celebrate Juneteenth, those kind of things. And it's really like I've fallen in love with the beauty of the culture and these incredible people, and it gives me a thirst to learn more and get to know them more and help my daughter know how beautiful her heritage is.
Next question.
Yeah.
You have older children. How
Yes.
have they felt through this whole process and now?
Again, everything is fit beautifully in our situation. Our older kids love her. Like Abby is our senior, and I mean, nothing is set in stone, but she's looking at colleges locally in the Texas area because she wants to be close enough to be Leilani's big sister. So they've, giving them credit, they've been involved in our journey. We are very open in our conversations, especially with our older kids, about what we've gone through, choices. We were very open with them when we started feeling like adoption was a path that was a reality. And they were nervous, especially after ups and downs. And so open conversation has made it so that, at least in what they've shared with us, there was nervousness, but they've loved it.
And she was she just said, wait, no, you're just going to drop everything and like, you're just going to just bring another sibling to me. Like she was a little bit overwhelmed.
She's our planner. She's more like me. She likes to understand every step of what's happening. It wasn't that she was against it. It's that, wait, you're going to change something on me that quick? But
once they even FaceTimed her while I was in a different state, we had to wait for ICPC to approve me for 2 weeks. And she saw her on FaceTime. She's like, oh, okay, I'm good. Let's get home. I want to hold her. And, so, and once they met her, it was just, it was very sweet and tender. So, yeah.
So now I think it's time we bring the kids in.
Oh, boy.
It's just
Yeah, do you want me to go?
yeah.
Go get them and let's bring them on in. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get introductions.
So this is Nathan.
Hi, guys. Hi, Nathan. You have a great name.
This is Nathan. This is Kate. She's holding
Hi,
Leilani.
Kate.
Here's Ellie. And here's
Hi,
Abby.
Ellie.
So
It's so
the
good.
entire crew.
It's so good to see all of you. I feel like I know you all really well because I've seen so many pictures of you. But to see you in person is wonderful. Well, over video. It's so good. So Leilani's going. So I want to hear from the kids. If you want to take a minute. Nathan, let's start with you and just kind of go around the circle. How has this whole adoption process been for you?
It's been real.
He said he really likes Lulu. That's the nickname they gave her is Lulu because they just naturally
Okay.
gravitated to that.
Okay, next.
That's a real.
Say that one more time. Oh, that's fun. Okay, now the others.
It's just been cool to see how Lulu really fits in with our family and just adds so much to everything.
And what does she add?
A lot of sass. A lot of sass and cuteness and just general excitement. Happiness.
Okay.
It's felt like she's always been part of our family, like she's always supposed to be here, so it's fun.
That's fun.
You know, being we're our family.
Like she's always supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the kids. Any of you can answer. Okay. Leilani, do you have anything you want to say to us?
What do you want to say, Leilani?
So, kids, if you were to give advice to other kids where their parents were thinking about adopting a child, what would you say?
Abby, what advice would you give someone else in your situation?
And then just like keep an open mind and just know that what else kind of meant to happen, it'll always work out. It's like, as a kid, I think the idea scared me, but it turned out so well, and literally my life is so much better because of what happened. So it's just like keeping it open and knowing that like change is good.
Yeah. Now, have you felt less important because your parents brought in another kid?
Not at all.
Not at all. And you know they're thinking about adopting again. Is this a secret?
No.
No, there's no surprises in your family. And how do you feel about that?
I'm so happy about it. Like, part of me being sad because I've been graduating this year, and I'll be sad because I feel like I won't get a year's pardon. But I'm so happy, and I think it's nothing to do.
That's it.
Very good. Anyone else? Any other thoughts?
Probably something is like, it might seem like they won't like, it'll be like your family's, because it's such a big change, it might feel like your family's never going to be the same, but it's like, like Abby said, as soon as she came in the family, it's like, you couldn't imagine it. Like, I don't remember what it was like without her. It's like she was always here.
That's it.
So just don't be scared of change.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming and saying hi to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later. All right. So now ask the last question, which was the same question that I asked your kids. What advice would you give for anybody in a similar situation? Let me rephrase it. So I was talking with a leader of the church and whose family had adopted from us a few times, and he was kind of debating. We were debating why people don't adopt more often, and he gave me a few reasons. And he said one of them is financial, which is always a big thing. Another one, and this was the one I want to address on, is that when they look at this child and they don't see themselves in the child, they worry that maybe they won't be able to love them the same, that somehow they won't connect in the same way because they don't have their nose or their ears don't look the same. How have you guys dealt with that, and what advice would you give?
I don't know if that was, I don't think that's ever been something that we had to deal with. I mean, I would say that if you put that aside and then you have that moment when you first see the child and you have that connection, all of that fades away. I mean, again, we've talked a lot about that weekend, and that was a very, very quick weekend for us. And there was a moment where I think 24 hours after our initial call, we're walking into a hotel to figure out our next steps. So we have Leilani with us, and she's looking up at us. And there was a moment where she looked at us and giggled, and just the love was there. And the beauty of adoption or families is that it is love, and that love overrides everything else. And so if you have that desire and have that love will override any concerns as far as whether they look like you or they don't look like you, or whatever that may be. If that love is there, it overrides it, and the connection exists. And that was, at least that was our experience, mine.
I'm just with him that love is the connecting point. I honestly, since I've had the unique experience of both having biological children and now our adoptive daughter, truly, I don't feel a difference in my love for them. Like it is unconditional mother love that you feel when you connect with that child. And it's as if, I carried her in my womb myself. Like, she obviously does not look like me. She comes from a different heritage, biologically, DNA than me. But love isn't about DNA. Love is about the heart, the soul. And when your souls connect and your hearts connect, like, it's a bond that can't be broken. It's beautiful.
Nathan, any thoughts you have?
How is your life better because of adoption? How is your family better because of adoption?
I think that could fill an entire another podcast. I mean, you go through life and you find your life, and as you move on each year, each moment you expand, and adoption puts that into hyperdrive. All of a sudden you're learning things about different people, you're experiencing different experiences, your communities are growing, your understanding of different cultures, different people are growing, and that's what it's been like for us. I mean, every experience from our initial contacts with Donna and heart to heart to the contacts that we've had with Chris and onward as we grow the family to the immense love that we have for Leilani, just expand our perspective and our understanding. And it expands our children's perspective and understanding. And we see the change as they interact with people around them. And when, they walk around with their sister and they get to tell the story of how she came to be part of her life, and they get to tell the story from their perspective. Abby in particular, as she's, our oldest child, explained it a lot to her friends and comes up and as she talks about it. So we've seen that in this massive expanding of understanding and growth because of the experience.
Kimberly?
Yeah, it's the expansion of the heart, like not only with Leilani, but with her birth mother and family. It's this beautiful connection of love.
Very good. You guys, this has been a joy. It's been so fun visiting with you.
Both Nathan and Donna.
Did you ever talk with Chris about whether or not she was okay people knowing
She
about?
had a lot to do it at the time. I did get a chance to ask, which I have to tell you something beautiful, Donna. She got married. She got married to Marcus.
She married Marcus?
They got married.
They're married.
In June.
Living together. She did good terms with every one of her children. She's got a...
It was beautiful. He hung out with us the whole time. I met every single one of them.
In your picture, I saw a man, but I wasn't sure who it was. So that was Marcus. So you got to meet him, and you got this whole interlocking of the two families. Whew, what an amazing thing!
They were like,
as we're walking off, so we left. We waited so that Leilani could meet her oldest sister, who was flying in. And as we're leaving, Chris, her last comment was, Leilani, you now have two moms and you now have two dads, and you have a whole extended family of brothers and sisters who all love you. You are one of the most loved children there is. And it was just really sweet to hear her say that as well.
So how do you think she's feeling now about everything?
About the adoption or?
Yeah. Well, how's she feeling about Marcus? How are they doing?
I'm amazing.
They look...
Like, she even told me, because she knows I'm a photographer, and she was like, hey, so we obviously couldn't afford to really do much for our wedding, and the person who took the pictures on like a phone or whatever lost them, and we just don't have anything. So I'm coming back out in June of next year for their 1-year anniversary, and I'm doing a wedding photography show.
Oh, that's so fun.
And Leilani can be a flower girl. It's their 1-year anniversary because they are married now. She kept calling him husband. And I was like, is she just playing with it? And then finally I looked at her finger and she had a ring. I'm like, wait, so... And she's like, don't you know? I got married. We got married.
Wow. Thank you, guys. This has been marvelous.
Thank you. We love you. Sending all our
Thank
love.
you.
Thanks, Brett and Emily. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Nathan. You're amazing.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for joining this episode of Eternal Family Adoptions. I'm Donna Pope. Every child deserves not just a home, but a forever family rooted in love and faith. So visit our website, eternalfamilyadoptions.com, to access faith-based adoption resources and sign up for a newsletter. And join us next time as we continue this journey together.